Good evening and welcome back to the Urian Report. Tonight's episode from the Ahyeh is Monologue 18, The Little Tribe of Sandalphon. The prophet rose into the sky on a chariot of fire and never died, transfigured, transmuted from flesh and blood and bone into a living soul, a being of energy and consciousness. It is said that Elijah became the Archangel Sandalphon, as Enoch of old had become Metatron. Avatars of angels, unaware, are most true prophets and visionaries, even as dark teachers arise from those vain intelligences of the Qlipothic realms, to invest favored vessels and thereby lead souls into perdition, or so it has been told from the first inklings of these revealings. The Spirit declares, in inspiration and ink, Sandalphon once walked among humankind as a personage known as Baba Rabba, a Samaritan high priest, though it is felt within that he originated as the high priest Eli, and later reincarnated as Elijah, ascended, and invested a piece of himself into Baba Rabba, by which to instigate Samaritan reforms and stratification. Such is speculative on the part of this scribe, adding to what was said in years past, yet felt a reasonable fall of the dominoes across time-space consciousness. For we who believe the Archangel is one of the spirits of Emmanuel, the Lamb before the throne, and speaks to human hearts, calling them to the Most High, ascendance unto the perpetual light, in assignment of responsibilities declared the governor over the tribe of the Samaritans, and among us, the patron of all who labor with their hands and backs for the greater glory of the kingdom to come. Such is the patron of the common man and woman, the salt of the earth, who are the foundation of the coming manifestation. For the reader, such matters seem convoluted, but these are the bridges that need building. As the world descends into greater darkness, the human species is degraded into Homo demonicus, further separated from the God of spirit and truth. The numbers of the unmarked dwindle, those branded in their souls, bending the knee of consciousness to the invisible rulers of the world. Each archangel, the seven who are one Lamb of God, one human face of the I Am, call humanity to the feet of the divine parent across history and cultures. 7 tribes, and so few who have not and shall not yet bow down and lay their crowns, conscience, before the anti-God. The faithful alienate themselves from one another. The 7 tribes are divided against themselves in the face of the supreme evil. That which encompasses the vain collective of fallen spirits, the vampiric astral powers, feeding on the dramas and consuming the souls of enslaved humanity. The tribes must unite for their common good, and victory is in no way certain, not for Earth. Sandalphon corresponds to tan, brown, and gray, tin, brass, quartz, and stone, the earth itself. Note 1. Known in rabbinic, Kabbalistic, and mystical texts in all 3 Abrahamic religions, though unknown to the scriptures themselves, Metatron is often referred to as the Lesser Yahweh and as the Scribe of God. In this revealing, the Galactic Overseer, who represents a face of the One, but is not him itself, the One. There are 1 trillion galaxies in our universe, more or less, and infinite universes beyond. Metatron represents a bridge between the mortal, the angelic, and the divine within our galaxy. Note 2. Prophets, holy men, gurus, the founders of sects and denominations, reformers, as well as their darker counterparts in occultism and among the worldly elite, are often invested with a flicker or a sliver of an otherworldly entity. All humans are connected to some astral, causal, and or spiritual overself or master, Matthew 6:24. A group soul, as it were. But some individuals in every generation are a little more plugged in, mainlined, in short, chosen, picked from before birth even, to represent a primary piece on the board, a favored champion or avatar. Most never know who or what they are. It's not necessary, and it is even preferred that they do not know. They are put through things, shaped, molded, constructed, harmonized with the entity that has chosen them, often broken down, pulled out of the herd. A certain innate condition of natural mediumship, psychic ability, provides fertile ground to create a more compliant puppet, and the human agent often lacks just a little piece of free will and feels utterly compelled towards certain courses, choices, and actions, fixations. Even as I cannot resist writing this and rewriting it and striving to perfect it, although from the start I have wanted to throw it away, and have never ceased to regret being drawn into this task and path, for love of privacy and anonymity. As I write, there is a sense of pressure and disdain from other forces all around me, wanting me to be silent, let it go, let the cause just dry up and die. Far from perfect, those chosen are often just convenient, what's available, someone that will simply have to do, due to certain psychic spiritual preconditions and predilections. Note 3, Revelation 3:1, 4:5, 5:6. Note 4, in paranormal research, parapsychology, the documentation of shadow people is common. Humanity is descending, degrading, degenerating into a lower and lower state, a downward descent into depravity, evolving away from the divine and the natural, and toward the infernal. Demonic leaders are working hard for their masters. Self-worship, vanity, narcissism, denial of the holy, and a tendency toward apathy, amoralism, and ever more bizarre levels of self-mutilation, intellectually, spiritually, and physically, is dragging humanity toward an abyss of destruction. Human demons is what humans are becoming. I wonder if people knew what really went on in those dark clubs and dark lodges, would they even care, let alone believe? Note 5, John 4:24, 2 Corinthians 3:17, Matthew 1:23. Note 6, Ephesians 6:12, Matthew 4:8. Note 7, 1 Corinthians 15:24 through 28. Note 8, the true Lord of Darkness has been known across most cultures and in most nations of the world, from times immemorial, by various names. However, only in modern times has it become so blatantly open in its own personal message, taking the form of atheism, nihilism, and militant secularism, as well as the obsession with evil and diabolicalism in popular culture. It does not merely keep people trapped in reincarnation, it seeks to utterly consume soul and spirit and leave humans as living shadows, negative entities, or unlife. Luciferianism is an aesthetic, occult spirituality that promotes self-worship, and it is extremely popular among the elites and intellectuals. And this is the very manifestation of the anti-God's will and message. I am not and will to be nothing. Indeed, Far Eastern philosophies often exemplify non-existence itself as the highest spiritual goal and attainment, while also encouraging a willing and smooth process of repeated reincarnation. Soul death, in the meantime. Thank you for listening, and please join me next time for Monologue 20, The Seven Tribes. God bless you.